All right, it is launch day right now. It's about 10:15 in the morning. Launch is scheduled for 4:50 this afternoon, so we've got, I guess, about 6 hours left to go. I am set up here at the press site. A couple of other people have their tripods set up out here. There is my cooler and beach chair, which NASA no doubt wants me to remove from being right next to the countdown clock. There's VAB, the Discovery flag is flying. And right here on the water's edge, way out there, about 3 miles away, is Discovery herself. And over here is where I've got my setup. My wee little camera, which looks minuscule compared to the gear everyone else has out here. Some media have shown up, claimed their spots with their tripods, and it's going to be camped out all day, basically waiting for this thing to take off. And back over here is the field. Over here where the truck is where we had our tent set up last time. There's no tent this time, they're bleachers. And then back there is the press facility. Alright, there's the countdown clock, and it's at a hold 3 hours. As they go through the countdown, there's pre-programmed holds in there, so that way they can review things and make sure everything's in line before they proceed the actual countdown to launch. We're actually, I guess, a little bit more than 6 hours away from launch at this point, but the countdown clock does read 3 hours. You can see the Discovery flag flying, and hopefully that stays up, because if they scrub the launch, the first thing they'll do is take that down. So we're going to be looking for that for the rest of the day. And here's a reminder that this is a wildlife preserve. We've got a nice big gator out there, probably a good 40-35 feet away from where we're sitting right now. He's swimming right in front of the shuttle. So I guess he'll be with us for the launch. Alright, we are walking towards the VAB to see the astronauts as they take off. And actually I am on hold right now with KBTX. They're going to do an interview with me at about the same time, so this should be interesting. But we're headed out there. Alright, so the astronauts just went by in, they used to call it the Astro Bus. I don't know if they still do that. But we got to wave to them, and unfortunately I didn't get to capture it on video because at the exact same moment is when I was being interviewed live on TV. But I did get some still photos at the same time, so I was multitasking. Hopefully I didn't sound too distracted on air. But they just went by here at the VAB and actually went past this little white building with the staircase right there. You can see is actually launch control. So until the space shuttle actually takes off, they're the ones in charge. They're the mission control. And then once the shuttle actually takes off, control is transferred to mission control in Houston. And so their little bus stopped right there at the bottom of that roadway, right about there. And they stayed there for a few minutes and then took off on their way to the pad. And so I am standing actually here in the press lot. And as you can see, there are plenty of cars here. No shortage of people out here at the press site today. And also, got a couple of special visitors. These big yellow things are the trailers that are used to haul the external fuel tanks. And since all of the external fuel tanks have been delivered for the remaining shuttle flights, they are just kind of hanging out until NASA figures out what to do with them. The tanks are actually constructed in New Orleans, floated up the Mississippi River, I guess. Or no, I guess actually they go down to the Gulf. They come over here to Florida, and then they actually come in here through this little inlet of water and are unloaded right here and then hauled over to the VAB where they're mated with the shuttle. So these things are used hardware that NASA has to figure out a use for, but I'm sure they'll come up with something.
Oh, actually, it's not going to be difficult at all. It's very similar to what we do. It's very similar to the fly around that we did. They'll be undocking and backing away for about 200 meters, which is a very easy and well-practiced maneuver. The station is then going to maneuver out from under them or out from beside them. During that maneuver, they'll be able to take photographs, and then they'll be undocking on the positive V-bar, so they'll be in front of where the station is flying, and then they'll fly up to the zenith side, which is just quarter lap around, very standard maneuver, and go back in for docking. So it's actually a pretty, I would say simple, but a pretty standard fly around that Soyuzes do on a regular basis.
What is this thing that R2 is riding? What can it actually do? Well, this is a first prototype rover, mid-size class, and it is built to go over different types of terrain, as far as level, grassy like we have here, into rocky and lunar or Mars type analog sites as well. So we're going to fire this thing up. So within the wheel, there are some motors that are actually doing some propulsion, and steering is also continuously on. Yeah. Say that again? Oh wow. Let's go kilometers. This is a full electric vehicle, a very good size lithium-ion battery. As you're seeing here, you can the robot can go in any direction. It doesn't really have any limits on where it can go, straight, left or right. The robot was designed to go 3 meters per second.
Alright, and now I'm back up here at the press site, and the countdown clock is running once again. So we are 2 hours, 28 minutes, and 28 seconds in official countdown time away from the launch of the shuttle. We are actually, let's see here, we are about 3.5 hours away in terms of actual time. So there's about an hour extra on top of what the countdown clock has. Once again, that's for those built-in holds. I'm actually standing a couple of feet away from CNN and Fox News and all the major media outlets. They are approximately 10 to 12 feet to my left here, and they're not actually filming at the moment, so I will prove it. So if you see me slip into a live shot, I apologize. The action reporters set up their shot down here. So that way they can have the shuttle in the background, local news, some vans and everything. So about 3.5 hours to go, or 2.5 hours to go, and we're all ready.